What's up, guys? Crypto Muser here with your daily news and analysis in the crypto markets. Now, starting off the week here, Bitcoin sitting there at about 40,940, Ethereum at 2,928, and XRP still sitting there at about 81 cents. We're still ranging. Bitcoin ranging in that $39,000 to $45,000 level. We've really bounced off that $45,000 resistance about 3 or 4 times now in the last month and a half. Not a great sign, right? We need to break that $45,000 level really to start this upward momentum. And until then, we're kind of in this sideways, slow, grueling consolidation, right? With everything going on in the market right now, the geopolitical events, the Russia-Ukraine conflict, are we going to World War III? Is hyperinflation happening? Are the gas prices going to keep going up? Everybody's kind of just, there's so much fear out there in the market that everybody's very indecisive and kind of keeping their money on the sidelines at the moment before they can, get that sign, get that confidence back into, to put their money back in the market. So until that happens, I believe we're still going to have this sideways action in the coming weeks. So that's just where we're at, right? That's just the fact. I am still in the camp that we, when this fear does subside a bit, we will have a retrace for Bitcoin back to those the 702 Fibonacci level at about 56, 58,000. And in that retrace, I still think we will have our alt season. And I've seen a lot of people out there saying, no, this time is different. We're not going to have an alt season. Bitcoin's just going to keep going down to 22,000, 20,000. I just don't think that's the case, right? I don't think this time is different. I don't buy when people say this time is different. This time is not different. Nothing is pointing to that direction, right? Everything is doing the same thing it's always done. Bitcoin hits its top. You have the initial fall, and then when it finds its bottom, it slowly makes its retrace. And in that retrace, you've seen back in 2013 and 2017, during that retrace, that's when you have all season at the end of the market. So I'm still in that camp. I think that's going to happen. There's signs out there that are telling me that that's going to happen. And in this video, I want to show you a couple charts, couple on-chain analytics charts that kind of, point in that direction, a couple news articles. But before I get into the video, guys, if you guys could please like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below, be very much appreciated. But let's get right into it. So first thing I want to show you is some on-chain analytics, right? So what on-chain analytics are is basically the psychology and behavior on the blockchain, on the Bitcoin blockchain. So people that are taking their money off exchanges, putting them on exchanges, buying and selling Bitcoin, it kind of gives you that, it kind of charts out the behaviors of the Bitcoin holders. So the first chart I have here is the Bitcoin addresses with more than one Bitcoin and how those addresses either incline or decline, right? So the orange is the Bitcoin holders that have more than one Bitcoin addresses that have more than one Bitcoin, and the gray is the Bitcoin price. So obviously this is from March 2021 to March 2022, so it's a year chart here. The first top we had for Bitcoin, this is in May of last year. You saw a steady decline in Bitcoin addresses with more than one Bitcoin, right? And then we hit our bottom here with addresses in about June, July. And then since then, we kind of been steadily going up, right? And even in our, second top here we had in November, even look at, as we're falling here, people are still accumulating Bitcoin. I thought that was always kind of weird that, obviously look at the steady decline in our first fall that we had in May. I mean, that obviously goes together. Obviously if people are with more than one Bitcoin are selling, that means that the addresses are going to disappear. But the fact that we had our top here in November and we're still, people are still accumulating Bitcoin, especially people, I think they call minnows, anybody that has more than one Bitcoin, that has been steadily going up. And then we kind of flatlined when we hit our bottom here for the price back in January. And then since then, all of a sudden, the last 2 months, you've seen a huge incline in addresses with more than one Bitcoin. So what that's telling me right now is that, we're getting ready for a kind of change in the market here. We kind of hit our bottom and, obviously, people are buying up that Bitcoin. So the second chart I want to show you guys, this is people taking their Bitcoin on and off exchanges, right? So the green is when people put their Bitcoin on exchanges, and the red is when people take their Bitcoin off exchanges. So what this shows is that obviously when you put your Bitcoin on exchanges, that means you're getting ready to sell, right? And when you're taking off exchanges, that means you're putting in cold storage and you're not ready to sell. So obviously when there's big spikes of green, the price is going down because people are putting their Bitcoin onto exchanges to sell off, right? So this is also the same timetable. This is January. This is March. This is January 2020 to March 22. So it gives you a couple extra months. But what I want to show you is the last couple months here. So obviously, when it's in red, that's usually a good sign. That means people are taking their Bitcoin off the exchanges. So you've seen in the last 2 months, you're seeing more and more people taking their Bitcoin off exchanges. So those two charts together, right? The chart before this is showing, a steady accumulation of Bitcoin. And this is showing me that they're buying that, accumulating that Bitcoin and taking it off exchanges. So that means they're not showing selling behavior. So what this is telling me is that the selling behavior is subsided and we're getting ready for a change in the market here. I like to look at all different aspects in this market when I try to come to a conclusion of where the market's going to go. I like to look at on-chain analytics. I like to look at technical analysis, and I look at fundamentals. And I kind of give me that broader picture of how the market is behaving, and then I kind of gives me a better guesstimation of where the market is heading. So these two charts are really showing me that we've really hit our bottom here, and we're ready to finally make a retrace for Bitcoin. And obviously everything going on right now around the world, we couldn't be obviously we're at the deepest fear, the deepest level of fear we could possibly be at, unless we go to World War III, which I don't believe that's going to happen. But I just think the scare out there, the media scaring people, the inflation scares, everything out there is kind of, like I said in the beginning of the video, it's kind of just, there's so much indecisiveness, but I believe that this will subside in the coming months. And even the on-chain charts are showing me that that's going to happen. So I'm still very bullish on this market in the next 3 to 4 months, or even longer, maybe 3 to 6 months. So this is the time where I will be, I have been a dollar cost averaging still into some of these projects. Some of these altcoins have really been beaten down pretty hard in the last couple months. So I see serious buying opportunities out there, especially for those lagging alts that really didn't have their big moves in the last year and a half. So not financial advice, obviously, but not a bad time to get into this market if you're not. So the next thing, let's get into some news. Good old Elizabeth Warren. She is trying to put a crypto bill out there. It's called the Digital Asset Compliance Enhancement Bill. And obviously it's not good for everyday people. She's still on this thing where Russia is going to use Bitcoin and other cryptos as to get around sanctions, which her own government has come out and said that this is not the case. But for some reason, she's still pushing this narrative, which tells me that she is more in line with SEC Chair Gary Gensler. And look at this article. This is pretty funny. So Gensler passes the buck. Just look at XRP Crypto Wolf's post here. New York Post calling out SEC Chairman Gary Gensler for being Elizabeth Warren's pet. Pretty good article. Charles Gasparino obviously works for Fox Business. Has been on the Ripple versus SEC case for a while now, for the last couple months. Very good article here if you guys want to check it out. I'm obviously not going to read the article here on the channel, but I just thought it was very funny how he pointed out the obvious connections between these two, right? They're very hawkish on crypto for some reason. And the funny thing is, Gary Gensler, before he became SEC chair, when there was thoughts that when it was out there that he was going to become the SEC chair, people were very bullish about it because he taught at MIT. He taught a crypto course at MIT. So, and he knew his stuff, right? He knew the technology, he knew the benefits. But for some reason, ever since he became the chair of the SEC, he's been in this crusade to basically, end crypto or at least slow it down, which is, been obviously terrible for investors, terrible for this country. And Elizabeth Warren has kind of just, joined him on this crusade. And it's been painful to see because a so-called progressive like Elizabeth Warren is kind of just doing the opposite of what people think that she would be doing. I've always said she's a fraud. She says one thing and does the opposite. And that's always been her thing. I just don't trust her. She's always, supposedly been for the people, but time and time again she's shown the opposite. So do not believe a word she says. So it's just funny seeing these two people being shown that they're obviously on the same page together, and they probably have a conversation about every week about how they can take down the crypto community. So the next thing I want to show you guys, if it loads. So this is pretty funny. So this is back in 2018. I just mentioned that Gary Gensler used to teach at MIT, or didn't used to teach. He did a couple lectures at MIT about crypto. And in this one lecture, he talks about XRP. So this is XRP meme guy. So in 2018, Gary explains that XRP is a bridge currency. He says many banks are already working with Ripple. He says one of the most promising use cases for stablecoins is a bridge currency. Doesn't sound like securities in my classroom, which is pretty funny. So he's out there trying to call XRP a security, and the SEC is trying to say that XRP has no use case, but he's outlining the use case of XRP in this video. So it just shows you how ass backwards the SEC is at the moment. But let's just listen to this quick, it's only about 2 minutes long. Listen to Gary Gensler, how he sounds pretty bullish on XRP.
Crypto Bitcoin to Philippine peso. That is called a bridge crypto or bridge currency. That's in fact what Ripple is trying to do with XRP. So Ripple is a company that started as a payment messaging service to compete with SWIFT. And that messaging service, which we'll talk about more Thursday, has been adopted by many banks. More recently, in 2018, they rolled out a prototype of using a crypto token, XRP, as a bridge currency. I would say yes, it is possible. I think there's an issue also about volatility. So if you're moving fiat dollar to crypto, Bitcoin, XRP to fiat, if you have a lot of volatility, that means it's a less it could be costly. But if it's stable value, so you can lower the cost two ways: lowering the volatility of the crypto, or lower the time. And XRP believes they have a solution that can be down to seconds, and thus even if there's volatility, that in seconds it won't move as much. And the friction will be that you have to sell dollars to buy XRP, and then sell XRP to buy peso, or you can interpose any bridge currency. One of the most significant opportunities for stable value tokens that we'll talk about in a few classes is maybe as what we can call it as a bridge currency for cross-border.
It's pretty funny how he's pointing out the use cases of XRP with Ripple. Meanwhile, he's suing Ripple, saying that XRP has no use case. It's just astounding that this lawsuit is still going on. And when you have videos out like this, how can this guy straight-faced say that XRP has no use case, right? It's just... And does he sound like the most exciting teacher? If he was my professor, man, I'd be falling asleep in that class, I'll tell you what. So, another huge article here for Ripple. Jack the Rippler tweeted this out. Boom! Ripple's blockchain technology is now being used by Canada's top bank, CIBC, for cross-border payments. CIBC is a leading Canadian-based global financial institution with 11 million personal banking and business clients. So just add another one to the list, guys. I'm telling you, Ripple has been building their business up, even with this lawsuit with the SEC in the U.S. They've been building out their business all around the world. You're seeing Canadian banks, you're seeing Middle Eastern banks, you're seeing Southeast Asian banks, you're seeing Japanese banks, you're seeing all over the globe, right? Except for the U.S., right? The U.S., obviously, due to this lawsuit, has been basically, these banks have been sitting there waiting for this settlement to come in, waiting for this lawsuit to end, and then they can finally jump on the wagon, right? And I believe that's what's going to happen. I believe when this lawsuit is over, you're going to have Ripple go public, and you're going to have all these banks that have been basically piloting this technology for Ripple for years now. Bank of America has definitely been doing it. Santander, a lot of these banks that are in the U.S. have been using, or at least piloting this technology, and they know the benefits, right? They're seeing the benefits of this technology. And I'm telling you right now, and I've said this time and time on this channel, Ripple is about to be the biggest company in the world. Bottom line. I think you'll see the first trillion-dollar company as Ripple will be. And don't take my word for it. Do your own research. Look at the board of directors at Ripple. Look at the CEO, the CTO. See what they've been doing. Look at the progress they've made all around the world. And you'll see what I've been, trying to tell you on this channel is that this company is a game changer. I couldn't be more, happy with my investment, especially when they do go public. I will definitely be buying some Ripple shares. If I was an accredited investor, I'd buy some shares on Link2, but I'm obviously not an accredited investor, which I can't stand that whole thing, right? I think you have to have you have to make like $200,000 a year on the books or have $1 million in the bank, whatever it is. I am not that. I don't have that much money, which I hope sometime, with my investments, I will in the future. But for now, I do not. So I'll be waiting for Ripple to go public after this lawsuit is over, and I will buy some Ripple shares then. And I will still keep dollar cost averaging into XRP because I see where this is all going, right? And like I said, don't take my word for it. Do your own research, guys. Really deep dive into this company and just look at what they're trying to do, right? Look what they've been doing in the last 4 years, and you'll see what I see, and then you'll see how beneficial this company will be for the global stage for payments. And also other aspects, right? They're going after a $400 trillion market with cross-border payments. They're going after a derivatives market, which is another $500 trillion market. $1 trillion, guys, trillions, right? These markets are some of the biggest markets in the world, moving money, right? They want to move all the money around the world. They want to be that bridge currency for all the money around the world. That is their goal. So, and it's like the risk reward there for this investment is pretty unbelievable, right? If they actually do what they're trying to do, and if they even just do maybe 20% of what they're trying to do, what do you think the price of XRP is going to be? And I just did a video of some price predictions, right? And a lot of people were like, those prices are crazy, and it's never going to hit those prices. You don't know. You really don't know. We're so early here that no one really knows what's going to happen. So we will soon find out, obviously, in the coming months when this case does get settled. And I believe I'm going to put a video out soon about a timeline of when that settlement could come down, because we're definitely getting more information now in the last couple of days. But I'll do that probably either tomorrow or the next day. But I will end the video here, guys. Just remember to like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below. But remember, I am not a financial advisor. Please do not take anything I write or say as financial advice. This is for educational purposes only. And thanks, guys, and we'll see you on the next one.